Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the blockbuster game this weekend we got between the LA Rams and the Indianapolis Colts. Matthew Stafford versus Carson Wentz, two new guys that are new to their teams, looking to make a turnaround of their career, looking to make a possible Super Bowl run. But before we get on that topic, I got to hear from you guys. I'm going to give my prediction, my projection, my matchup, my picks, everything, but I want to hear from you guys. What is your score prediction for this game? Blowout, shootout, one-score game, whatever it is, comment down below. And getting straight into it, like I said, looking at what these two teams did last week, Rams, they were very electric. They looked like Matthew Stafford and the Rams are the team to beat in the NFC. Yes, there's the Bucs. Yes, I do think the Packers will make a turnaround. Yes, the Niners. Yes, that entire division is 1-0 in the NFC West. The Rams, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Cardinals. But still, Matthew Stafford looked like he fit in this offense. He looked like he fit in LA. Jalen Ramsey was on fire. Aaron Donald was Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee. They all got some action in this game. And the Rams look like they're in good hands. The Colts, they did have a tough loss. They did lose to Seattle. It was Wentz's first start. It was against Russell Wilson, a top 5 quarterback in the league. So I give him somewhat of a break, but it's not going to get much better. The Colts' first 5 games, I want to say, off the top of my head, look something like it was obviously the Seahawks last week. The Rams was this week. That's the first 2. And then I want to say it's the Tennessee Titans. Again, you may think they suck, but it's a division rival. It's still a tough game. I believe it's Miami and the Ravens, 2 possible playoff teams. So Colts are catching a break the first 5 weeks, so really any win is important for them. But looking at some stats, Rams, 312 passing yards. Colts, 223. Rushing yards, actually kind of surprising by the Colts because Jonathan Taylor, he didn't really take off. He had a good 56 yards, but Nyheim Hines had some yards and Carson Wentz had some yards to help contribute to this. Darrell Henderson had 70 himself, and the other 4, I assume, came from Sony Michel, or I think the other one on the depth chart is Damian Williams or Darrell Williams, whichever one it is. Matthew Stafford had a perfect passer rating last week. I think it was like 156.1. Colin Cowherd ranked the Rams as his number one team in his power rankings after week 1. The Rams are on fire. Cooper Kupp, like I said, took off. Jonathan Taylor, he actually got the ball a good amount through the air and on the ground. Did put up over 100 yards total. Pretty good for your fantasy team. Like I said, Jalen Ramsey took off. This is a tough matchup because you got DeForest Buckner versus Aaron Donald. You have Xavier Rhodes versus Jalen Ramsey, and we know who wins those 2 matchups. As good as Xavier Rhodes and DeForest Buckner is, they're not better than Ramsey or Donald. However, the Colts have their X factors as well. Darius Williams, an amazing offensive line that actually did get bullied against the Seattle Seahawks a little bit, but I do think when Eric Fisher comes back and they're just a little bit more healthy, Quentin Nelson, Carson Wentz, even though they're back, I still want them to be at 125%. Once Jonathan Taylor gets going again, once maybe T.Y. Hilton comes back, that's still a few weeks out, I do believe in this Colts team to make a turnaround. And like I said, for just this matchup, they do have their pros over the Rams as well. Like I said, Rams, they got Donald and Ramsey, but they don't have a top 3, maybe top 1 linebacker in the league like Darius Leonard. Kwity Paye's a good pickup. Who else they got on their line? Tyquan Lewis they have. In the secondary, Kenny Moore is a very underrated corner. In the secondary, Colts got their X factors. Like I said, Michael Pittman, I'm hoping he gets a little more action in this game. If you take a closer look at what the Colts put up last week, very surprising to not see Michael Pittman be the number 1 receiver in this room. I really thought he would step forward. Again, it's only week 1. I could see him pop off for 100 yards this very week. Maybe if he's shadowed by Jalen Ramsey, that'll change my mind. But I do think he will have a bigger impact in the passing game, especially with the absence of T.Y. Hilton. Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal should be the 2 best receiving options. Yeah, I like Paris Campbell and Jack Doyle and Wiley Cox, but it's just receiver-wise, they should be the 2 best options. I just don't want to see the Colts have their running backs leading in receiving yards. It works in some games. It works in some systems. McCaffrey, Kamara, Eckler sometimes, but that just shouldn't be this Colts offense, at least in my opinion. But still, they somewhat played well against the Seahawks. There was definitely some kinks. They definitely didn't win the game, but they did do a good job at least showing they have potentials the way I see it. Bears versus Rams, like I said, Stafford was on fire. 156.1 rating. 20 for 26, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Darrell Henderson, like I said, Sony Michel, Robert Woods, Damian Williams was on the Bears. That was my mistake. Cooper Kupp, you guys, this is all what I was talking about. So if it's not obvious, if I'm breaking it down, who wins the quarterback matchup? Rams, I got to give the edge to them at QB over Wentz. Who wins the backfield? I got to give the edge to Jonathan Taylor over Darrell Henderson. Who wins the offensive line? Rams look good and the Colts didn't, but on paper the Colts are better and the Rams aren't. So do with that information as you want. Pick your poison as a way I see it. Receiving group, I'm going to go with the Rams here. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, yada, 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 Deshaun Jackson. And, Colts have talent, but it's just not Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods good. In defense, got to lean towards the Rams. Sean McVay, Raheem Morris, the new defensive coordinator, they looked good against the Bears. They held Allen Robinson under 35 yards. That's very, very impressive for a top 10, top 8, top 7 receiver, wherever you got him on your rankings. Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams, Jordan Fuller, Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald. That is who they are. And the Colts, they're a good defense as well. They're with the Rams. They're in somewhat of the same tier bracket. But if you had me actually sit down and pick one over the other, I'm going with the team that has the best corner in the league and the best player in the league on their same side of the football. So, if it's not obvious, I am leaning towards the Rams in this football game. We could check out the odds to see how Vegas has them matched up or just what the odds are. You can see the Rams are favored by 4. Should have the percentages. There we go. Rams 64% favored and the Colts are 36% favored. Sounds about right. I would lean towards the Rams, maybe leave it a little stronger, maybe 70-30. I do think the Colts have a dark horse chance. It is at home. They are looking to rebound. And the Rams, we got to see them play a secondary that's going to be better than giving up 2 random 65-yard touchdowns just because. Do I think the Rams would have still won that game? Yes, but if the Bears had somewhat of a number 1 corner, do I think we have this same conversation of them being a number 1 team, them being a huge favorite into this game? Possibly not. Do I think they'd still be favored, still be a great team? Yes, but I still want to see a larger sample size. We had such a small sample size, it's really hard to tell and give, not a overreaction type of guess and prediction and take on how this team is going to be this year and entering this game. I think the Rams, that's what they're looking to live up to week in and week out. We just have to see, can they? And the Colts, they're looking to have what they did last week kind of be their floor. We know we could compete, but we want to win football games. And I do think if their offensive line can hopefully handle the Rams and Jonathan Taylor could get the run game going. You saw Dave Montgomery run through the throat of the Rams. And Montgomery's a good running back. He's probably, off the top of my head, I'd say he's a top 15 running back. I'd have to sit down and make my rankings, but off the top of my head, I'd say probably top 15, top 16 running back around that range. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is better than him, and we could see the Colts win this football game by running. That's how the Bears were in contention at times. And like I said, you don't have 2 huge blow-up plays. Maybe this is a different ball game. We'll just have to see. If it's not obvious, I am leaning towards the Rams in this game. I do think it'll be somewhat close. I think it'll be right around a score. I think it could be 30-24 Rams. That's how I see it. I do think it'll be relatively high scoring. I do think the Colts can make it close, but we'll just have to see. I got the Rams winning by 6 points again, 30-24. But I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below. What is your score prediction for this game? Who is bringing home the W? Are the Colts going to be 0-2, or the Rams going to be 2-0, or are they each going to be 1-1? Let me know down below. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-1 warning.